This morning. My name is John Petacolis. I'm the current president of the Veterans Museum. I've been on the board of directors now for 6 or 7 years, I believe. So anyway, welcome. Today we're going to do a presentation from the Quilts of Valor, Rocky Mountain Honor Flight, and Rocky Mountain Honor Flight. First, we'll have Jan come up, Jan Weber, for the Quilts of Honor. But before we get started, let me remind everybody to, first of all, let me ask you this, let me tell you this. We want to thank our many generous volunteers and donors. Everybody you see here in a red vest or a blue vest are volunteers, and I know there's a lot of other volunteers who are not in their vests that are in the audience, so thank you, all of our volunteers. Also like to recognize some of our donors, grants, the city of and county of Broomfield, who gives us very generously this whole building. And they do not only the building, but they do all the utilities and stuff. We wouldn't be able to operate without the city and county of Broomfield. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I'd also like to thank the Rotary. Rotary has been very generous with us year after year in providing grants for us. And the Denver Foundation, the Greenwood Fund, also provides grants for us. The Broomfield Community Foundation has not only given us grants, but they've also awarded us the Heart of Broomfield Award this last year. And then, of course, Community First Foundation and CSFD, which are also our grantors to the museum. Also like to thank have you all seen the Veterans Life magazine? Do you know what I'm talking about when we talk about the Veterans Life? They talk about the Honor Flight. Veterans Life comes out 6 times a year, and they've been very, very good to us. We've provided some articles for them, and it's really a great magazine with some really super articles and pictures. So I recommend, actually, I think it's $25 a year. I recommend going ahead and subscribing to that. Also, Le Mans Donuts. You'll see the donuts out here in the foyer. They're all provided for free by Le Mans Donuts, and we have some really good donuts out there. So we thank them. If you haven't signed in on the visitors log, please do sign in. That's how we keep track of our numbers for the city. The city likes to know how many people we have coming to the museum. We also provide provide numbers for grants. When we ask for grants, they ask, well, how popular are you? Well, we tell them we got a lot of people coming in. Remind everybody to turn off their cell phone. I'll turn mine off in a moment. And for the presentation, also remind everybody that you can become a member of the museum. It's $25 a year, $250 for a lifetime membership. I recommend the lifetime membership. Come on in. The money is used for our donations. We have and displays. It's, I think, a good investment. Your donations make this museum work. If we didn't have donations, we would not exist, or we'd have to charge like $10, $15 to get into the museum. So this is a free of charge museum. I'm also going to mention, it's not on the display here, we have a new electronic honor board that's coming to the Civil War Room. On that electronic honor board, if you'd like to make a $100 donation, you can put a biography of yourself if you're a veteran, or one of your family members if you're a veteran, or they are a veteran. A little bio, and that electronic honor board will be cross-referenced in name, conflict, and service. So you can punch on a service like Air Force, and let's say Lou Moyer pops up with the name. You can punch on Lou Moyer, and you'll have pictures, possibly video, and a little biography of that particular veteran. And so you can be entered into that electronic database if you donate $100. And we'll have that's coming here in the next month or two, and you'll see that in the Civil War Room. That's right. That's the one that was canceled. Thank you. VFW was going to do a Heroes event, which they somehow, for some reason, it has been canceled. So I took that out. Some of the museum exhibits that are coming is the American Revolution. It's upstairs now. It's in celebration of the 250th anniversary of the United States and the 150th anniversary of Colorado. Some of the things coming up on so mark your calendar coming up. We've got 11 April. We have David Barrett. He's quite a good author. He's written several books. He's going to be talking about the infamous Japanese Unit 731 unit during World War II. Fred Martin, who's a volunteer at the museum, he's going to come up on the 25th of April talking about Elmer Lucky McGintley, who was a gunner on the B-17 during World War II. Then we have, I think it's pronounced John Noble. Is that right? I'm sorry? Nahudil. Thank you, John. He'll be coming in and talking about his experiences in service, U.S. Navy and the U.S. Air Force. And then Flint Whitlock, who's a current museum director. He's going to, and a historian. He's written like 17 historical books and military books. And he's going to be talking about, what is he going to be talking about? 1945 conflict for World War II. So that's coming up. Okay. Without further ado, Jan, would you like to come up and talk about Quilts of Honor? Okay. This is a great program. I recommend it highly, and she asked to me a couple months ago, I guess, to come on in. So here you go.
Well, thank you, everybody, so very much. I want to thank the museum for having me here today. This is just such a thrill for me. Has anybody heard of the Quilts of Valor program? Very good. Oh, look at you all. Hi, Shar. How are you? Shar was actually talking to me several months ago, and Shar was the one that says, Jan, I really kind of think you need to come to this museum, and it's an incredible museum. Shar, thank you so very, very much. So I might be telling you a lot of things that you don't know. Even if you know about the Quilts of Valor presentation, how many veterans have received a Quilt of Valor? Okay, we got some work to do. Again, my name is Jan Weber, and do I need this? Do I really need it? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so anyway, my name is Jan Weber, and I represent the Quilts of Valor Foundation and the Smoky Hill Quilt Club. The Smoky Hill Quilt Club is a small quilt club on the southeast side of town, and we have 103 ladies and 2 good men who make these quilts that we give away. The Quilts of Valor Foundation was founded in 2003 by an incredible woman by the name of Catherine Roberts. What separates us from the animals? Catherine Roberts, in 2003, she's getting ready to send her own son off. He came flying in one day and said, Mom, Dad, I'm going to join the Marines. Can I get a hoorah? There you go. I'm going to join the Marines. I'm going to see the world. I'm going to get my education paid for, and I'm going to serve my country. Now, this did not surprise Catherine in the least bit because she came from a very, very long line of men and women who had served in her country, and she was not surprised that he stepped up. However, his timing wasn't so good. In 2003, things are really, really heating up in Iraq, and it's getting extremely dangerous. So this young man who was full of vim and vigor and everything 3 weeks ago now is getting a little nervous. The magnitude of what he had signed up for now has hit him. And Catherine began to see this change in her son, and she wanted to do something, but she didn't know what to do. So she went to bed and she had a dream. And in the first part of Catherine's dream, she sees her young son sitting on his bunk. He's visibly shaken. He's visibly nervous. And then just like that, in the blink of an eye, in the next part of Catherine's dream, she's taken a quilt. that she's lovingly wrapped him in that quilt. And that whole demeanor of that young man changed, because that was more than just a blanket. That was home. That was safety. That was security. And since that time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so proud of this. Over 439,000 Quilts of Valor have been awarded nationwide. And I'm very, very proud of that. As of September 1st, we start our new fiscal year. It goes from August 31st through September 1st. We started over. We've already awarded 99 quilts in 27 ceremonies. Isn't that amazing? That's really good for a very small quilt club. So I tell people all the time, they ask me, well, what constitutes receiving a Quilt of Valor? Is it my rank? Is it my DD 214? Is it my hair color? You know, what is it that made me special? Because I didn't do anything. Every veteran says that, oh, I didn't do anything more. I just did my job. Well, of course you did your job. But whether or not you were the captain or the cook or the commander or the cleaning lady, each and every one of you had to raise your right hand and swear to uphold the Constitution and to protect our country. And, you know, for somebody who has never served, I'll be forever, ever grateful to the men and women who have, because it's only because of you and the grace of God that I get to enjoy the freedoms that I do today. And I will never, ever, ever forget that. Do you know you are the 1%? 1% of our total populace takes care of the other 99%. And that is something that is so near and dear to my heart. And I cannot die. The good Lord is not going to let me die until every single veteran is covered in a Quilt of Valor. So that is the hardest part of my job, is not making the beautiful quilts. I'm going to show you a couple. It's not making these quilts. The hardest part is getting our veterans to let us honor them, because they're a very, very quiet group of men and women who only wanted one thing. And that was to get the mission done, get back to their families, get back to their lives, get back to their hopes and their dreams. And for that, I will always be grateful for you. So thank you very, very much. I've brought some forms. I've brought some brochures. And like I say, I can't die till every single veteran receives a Quilt of Valor. So let me show you a couple of what you might expect if you receive. Every quilt that we make is 60 by 80 in size. And every quilt is 100% cotton. So it pairs very, very well with our veterans and their needs. We make them 60 by 80 in size because that's the size of a rack. And so let me show you one. Let's turn it around. Okay. So you might get one. You might get a quilt that looks something like this. Oh, I gotta have that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. You might get a quilt that looks something like, oh, thank you, something like this. It's not always red, white, and blue, but our veterans do seem to like our panel quilts. We have just a lot that represents Americana, our fishermen, our hikers, our so we try to make them as specific as we can. This one I'm very, very proud of. Well, all of them I'm very proud of, but they all look different. So let's give you another one that you might expect. We have a lot of quilts like that. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Thank you, gentlemen, for stepping up here. Here's another one that you might see. Okay, there you go. They're all different patterns. They're all different colors. We try to make them red, white, and blue, but like I say, some of our veterans have other preferences, and they seem to really like the panel quilts, so we give away those as well. Each quilt has a couple of things. On the lower right-hand side of your quilt, you get this little label on there. I always embroider your name. So it says, thank you for your service to our country, quilted, pieced, and bound by the members of the Smoky Hill Quilt Club. So that's what you get with that. And then last but not least, you get one more thing. Now, let's see. There we go. I'll think of. Now, this is what I call the hideous pillowcase. Now, this is not too bad, and I'm going to have to work on those ladies to try to get them a little more hideous. As you can see, every pillowcase is a case that we give you for your quilt. It's only given to you for one reason, and that's so that your quilt can be gotten back to your home safely without it being soiled. But there is a catch. There is a catch to receiving a Quilt of Valor. Oh, I should have said that at the first, shouldn't I? All we ask is that you use your quilt. That's all we ask. You know, the quilt is an incredibly wonderful teaching moment. Teach it with your grandchildren. Teach them with your children. Share your stories when you need a little comfort and support. Throw that thing on the floor and make a picnic with your missus. I dare you to get back up off the floor. But make sure that you use your quilt. So that's the only reason the hideous pillowcase comes with it. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is all that a Quilt of Valor ceremony is. A Quilt of Valor ceremony, though, is always awarded. It's never just handed out. So it would be my delight, because this is what we do. We take that quilt and we wrap it around your shoulders and we say, on behalf of the Quilts of Valor Foundation and your family and your friends, it's an honor to recognize you. Though we will never, ever understand the extent of your sacrifice to protect and defend the United States, as an expression of our gratitude, we award you this Quilt of Valor. And then we wrap you in it, we shake your hand, and we go on about our business. And that's what it all is. And these quilts are such an important part of our lives and our club to give back to our community, because you're so important to each and every one of us. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Before you leave, Jan, are there any questions? One thing I wanted to make mention of is they normally present these quilts at a ceremony like even right here. So we could do it right here at one of our coffee and conversations. I know they do it at Cooper's Troopers. They've done it. I think you've done it at Dedalians, I believe. And so, yeah. So it's really a nice ceremony. Are there any questions? I see one, Bill Bates.
Yes, sir.
Just a question of curiosity. I've heard of Quilts of Valor before.
Yes, sir.
From other military organizations. Are you guys a national organization with chapters?
Yes, sir. We sure are. Over 439,000 quilts have been awarded. Colorado has 15 groups. I'm a group leader, so we have 15 groups all over the state of Colorado. So whether it's on the western slope, whether it's south, wherever, we have chapters all over the state. Now I'm a little bit, I gotta say, I'm a little possessive. I gotta say this because technically this is not my area. I'm on the southeast side of town. That makes no never mind to me. If you ask me to come and make a presentation for you or your group, I will be the one to come if I can. Absolutely. I'm all over the place. We've already done, like I said, 29 ceremonies have already been done this year since September. So we go retirement communities, big one at Windcrest. If you're a member of Windcrest, I'm there every 3 months. Hilltop, another one. I usually do presentations for groups, the American Legion, about every quarter. If you know Mike Groper over at American Legion Post 1, he's the cook there, and he has gotten me many veterans in that venue to have presentations made. We don't do anything posthumously. This is a living quilt. We also, if there is a Purple Heart member in our audience, I sew a little Purple Heart on the end of that, on that little label. I make sure. And if you have a service dog, We always, now this is not part of the foundation, so don't go tell anybody, but we also make service dog quilts. If you have a service dog, we like your battle buddy to have a little quilt too. Those are smaller. They're not 60 by 80, but they're still, it's just a nice little memento to recognize your dog. So, any other questions? Yes, sir. How does someone pick a design? Well, these ladies, man, they're incredible. We have all kinds of different designs out there. The Quilts of Valor Foundation does provide us with some with some patterns and things like that. But you go out all over the internet, and there's just patterns up the wazoo. And I am a shopping kind of girl, so I do like to shop for patterns and panels and things like that. So yeah, they're everywhere, and each quilter decides how she wants to put it together. Each one of these two I made, but like I say, there is 103 ladies and 2 good men that are out there doing this work in our club as well. So the hardest part, like I say, it is hard to decide which quilt you get, because some people really like the panels and some people like the design, but the good Lord just kind of puts it. When I'm putting these quilts together and washing them, I do have to pray over the washing machine. You ladies, you know what I am talking about. Because if those colors run, those reds run into blues or whites, that's awful. That's awful. And it makes me say bad words. But that doesn't happen very often. Our fabrics are as good quality as we can get. And even some of the great quality fabrics sometimes can have some bleeding issues. But we do the very, very best we can. Anything else? Yes, sir. Yes. Good. Good. See, the Broomfield ladies, they're going to get all cranky with me if I start taking their veterans. But I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me who covers our veterans as long as we cover our veterans, okay? All right. Anything else I can answer for you? I got some forms here. I got some brochures here, so I'm going to leave those. But please, it's important to us that we recognize our veterans, especially our veterans. Our World War II veterans were losing at a rate. World War II veterans were losing at a rate of 1,000 a day. Our Vietnam veterans are also were not treated very well when they came back. So this is another way. This is a thank you from a grateful nation to thank you for your service to our country. So. And there's no expectation except to use it. And there's no money ever required to get a Quilt of Valor. Okay? All right. I hope I see each one of you again, okay? Thank you so much for having me here today. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you. Okay, we're going to take a quick 30-second break while we hook up the computer for the next presentation, which will be Honor Flight.
All right.
Let me introduce you. Okay, so we're back on, and so I'd like to introduce, and let me get these names right, Andrew Garner, Rob Hooker, and Henry Jones are going to talk a little bit about the Honor Flight and the opportunity to go back to Washington, D.C. for veterans. So here you go.
Thank you. I want to start off with thanking Quilts of Valor. When we were told that we were sharing the time with them, it was great because I was awarded my quilt about 1.5 years ago. It's an incredible organization. We love it. And I was actually nominated by a veteran that was a member of one of our honor flights a few years ago. So we have some pretty good tie-in with Quilts of Valor and the Rocky Mountain Honor Flight. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it off to our president, Mr. Andy, to go ahead and start.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. as somebody who also didn't serve, I just want to say thank you and welcome home to all the vets here. It's something near and dear to my heart. I was an Army brat, so I know what the life is like a little bit, but I have nothing but the utmost respect for all you guys. So who here has heard of Honor Flights? Everybody, almost everybody. So Honor Flight Network, a national organization, right, started in 2005, I believe, in Ohio, yes. Right? So a guy got an idea because the World War II Memorial was just opening. If you remember, Bob Dole and Tim Russert and Tom Hanks all tried to get funding for that. It all got through Congress. It eventually got built. He had an idea. He wanted to take some veterans back to D.C., some World War II vets, to see the memorial built in their honor. So we're going to show some of the pictures from our trips here, but in 2007, Colorado officially became a hub of the Honor Flight. So there's 130 hubs now across the country as part of that Honor Flight network, and we're just one of them. Every one of them is different. Every one of them is funded differently. Everyone has a different board. Everyone does a different trip. Everyone has some autonomy there. So we're here to tell you a little bit about our mission. You may have seen groups from northern Colorado. They're on the news quite a bit. They get a lot of press. And groups from southern Colorado as well. But we're the Rocky Mountain Honor Flight, and we think we're the best. So we do a 3-day trip. Northern Colorado, for example, does a 1-day trip. They charter an airplane, they drive around in D.C., they fly home. So it's a pretty rapid trip. We like ours a little smaller, a little more intimate. We take 30 vets and 24 guardians. Our guardians all wear these blue shirts. And we fly there 1 day, and then we spend 2 days, visiting all the monuments. Gives our vets a chance to be a little more talkative with each other, a little more visiting happens, and in my opinion, a lot more healing happens. And that's what this is sort of becoming a mission of now. When's the last time we had a World War II vet? April, September. Last September, we had one. And we've got, I think, 4 Korean War vets coming up on our trip next week. We leave on Thursday. So we're trying to get as many World War II and Korean vets on as we can, but they're getting hard to find, right? So most of our flights these days have become jam-packed with 20-plus Vietnam vets, and our mission has taken on a little bit more of a healing mission than it was, a sightseeing mission. And I think we've all embraced that. We love doing what we're doing. This one coming up will be our 54th mission. So since 2007, we've taken over 1,500 vets back to D.C. These trips are zero cost. Speaking of zero cost, you guys are in for all kinds of free stuff today. So you can get a zero-cost quilt. You can get a zero-cost trip to D.C. 2 for 1. You could take your quilt to D.C. if you want. I would say that every mission's different, but they all include what is, in my opinion, the big thing, Arlington. They all include the Vietnam Wall. Some of the sites we see, for example, are World War II Memorial. We still stop there, mostly because we were going to think about getting rid of it, but we've had plenty of Vietnam vets say that's where my dad was. I want to still go there. I want to honor him. So we go to World War II. We now go to World War I, which opened last year as well. We stop at the Marine Corps Memorial, the Iwo Jima statue. We stop at the Air Force Memorial when they're open. They're actually closed for cleaning. We just found out. We can't stop there this time. They're cleaning these giant spires. I don't know if you've ever seen the Air Force Memorial, but it's, 200-foot tall spires up into the air. I don't know how they're going to clean them. That'll be cool to watch. We stop at the Navy Memorial, the Lone Sailor, which is right downtown in D.C., and they have a great museum there as well. So, FDR and MLK, which is kind of this big park-like setting right along the tidal basin, which is really nice. Let's see, partners. include Southwest Airlines. We fly commercial. We don't charter because we're a smaller group. Out at DIA, Henry was a Denver police officer at DIA, so he's got lots of stories. But among those are helping us get TSA on board with us, and the Denver Police Department at the airport. Those guys do a great job for us. So they give us our own train out to the gate. Sometimes the TSA has the honor guard even walk along with us and salute us at the gate. It's a really beautiful trip. Have any of you guys been on an honor flight? A lot of vets have, and some of them in northern Colorado or southern Colorado. So we won't be giving away any of our secrets here today. We have some secrets that we like to keep. I know Lou Roman went on an honor flight. I hope he hasn't blabbed all of our secrets to everybody, but he said it was great. That's all you need to know. You'll have a really good time. We've had a few vets that still fit in their uniform. We encourage them to bring those along, to wear those, to bring their medals, to bring scrapbooks, but most of all to bring stories. We want these vets to get to know each other. We don't do a one-on-one guardian to veteran ratio for that reason. We want them to sit with other veterans, to share their stories, and to heal through that process. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I'll make sure I don't do a Danny speech. It's an inside joke. But just like Andy said, I'm a Army brat kid too. So I spent 18 years at DoD schools. My father was a Korean War vet, Vietnam, and I just would like to thank each one of you vets for my freedom. But something that he touched upon that I would like to expand, this is more than a trip to different monuments. It is, what we found out, it's an excellent healing experience, because what we hear a lot is, well, I didn't do that much. I was a Vietnam era vet. I only spent 3 years. I wasn't deployed. But I guarantee you, the three of us, when we sit down with each veteran that we have, we always learn something. And the thing that we learned is the pride that they had, that each one of you had when you did your jobs in the military. I mean, it's remarkable to watch the very first day. You got 30 veterans. Nobody hardly knows each other. You'll have maybe one or two in the corner, kind of quiet, that won't say anything, doesn't know what's going to go on. After the 3 days, they are the best of friends, and you will see a lot of tears. Denver police officers, we don't cry, we get eyeball sweat. So you'll see me with a lot of eyeball sweat. But what I like about it is that spiritual connection that the veterans will have, and then there's an unattended, beautiful consequence out of this. A lot of you guys and gals that have gone and served this country will not say anything to the family members, to the wives. They come back wanting to tell their wives and their kids. And I've had letters, I've had phone calls from kids and the wives saying, thank you so much, because my husband is now a changed man. And you can see that pride when they come back. And it's such a beautiful thing. I'll give you an example. The Korean War vets, right? My dad's era, forgotten war. No big parade. The majority of the times when we're down at that the Korean Memorial, there's always going to be Korean high school students or college students that are visiting there. And to watch the interactions when those students key up and they see that Korea veteran hat, there's a lot of tears coming down. I mean, it's just great to see it. Like I said, it's a spiritual journey, and you just watch the veterans change. You watch them open up, and it's not the end of it. The 3 days is not the end. We become friends with a lot of vets. I've gone to a lot of services, funeral services. I was a pallbearer for five vets. I keep in contact with a lot of my vets. We get together with them and have coffee, and I quit. Until next week. But we meet with our vets regularly, and it's a beautiful thing to do. So I'll pass this back on.
Okay, so well, I'm going to touch base on with our guardians, our volunteers that go on the flights. I am a veteran. I served in Iraq. I was a reconnaissance team leader in the Army. Did 2 combat tours in Iraq. I got involved with the honor flight, but I happened to go to an Avalanche game for their military appreciation night, and they showed a spot about the honor flight in between periods. And I was like, this looks really cool. So I applied to be a guardian. Then COVID hit, and I forgot about it. Then I got a call from our former president, Joe, asking if I wanted to go, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is awesome. Let's do this. I was hooked day one on that flight. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just there to do whatever I could for our older vets. That was also our first trip that we took Vietnam vets on. So it was a learning curve for all of us. And I got hooked, and I told the Guardian coordinator at the time, "Is like, if you want me back, I'm more than happy to come back." After my second trip, I was nominated to join the board of directors. I became the youngest member of the board, and yeah, not anymore. We have one guy younger than me now, but I was the youngest member on the board of directors, and the only Iraq veteran on the board. And they gave me the Guardian coordinator job. And so my job is to pick our volunteers that escort our vets on the trip. And I do have to tell you this. We have an age limit for our guardians of 70 years old. If you guys want to come as a guardian and you're over 70, I'm sorry. I cannot take you as a guardian. It's for our insurance reasons. It's for our insurance reasons. So I just have to put that note out there for you guys. But what I do is I select our volunteers that come with us. They're the ones that escort you to DC with you on the trip the whole time and back. We're all volunteered. We are 100% nonprofit. No one gets paid. All of our guardians pay for our trip to go on the flight, where you guys as the veterans will go for free. And I do try to prioritize younger veterans to go as guardians, Iraq veterans, Desert Storm veterans, because I feel that it's an opportunity for us to interact with the older veterans and be a part of something and show the respect for what you guys done to pay the way for us. What else we got to touch on?
Just about the board. We were started. Maybe you saw some pictures. There was a lady named Mary Haddon who this was her mission in life. She took the whole thing on. She ran everything for quite a few years. Henry was one of the original board members that she brought on. He went off the board and came back, so he's a glutton for punishment. We re-recruited him. Yeah. Henry's great. So we have 13 board members. One of them is our medical director. We always have medical staff on every flight, 2 RNs at least. Sometimes we get a doctor in there as well. They all volunteer their time. They all spend their $500 to go on each trip as well. We're all volunteers, the entire board. So veteran coordinators, guardian coordinators, guy who gets all the wheelchairs to DIA and coordinates everything, ground support related. All of us just love what we do. So we're a non-paid board. We're not asking for any money. Money is required to make these things work. So a lot of people wonder how we're funded. Our biggest fundraiser every year is a telethon that we run on 9 News. We did one in September, and they've told us just about a month ago, hey, we got time in April, let's run another one. So 2 weeks from Thursday, April 9th is the next telethon. It'll be running all day long on Channel 9. We've actually had people from Channel 9 come on the trip with us. They embedded a reporter and a photographer and kind of tagged along and showed a lot of spot pieces. We've had a few of our board members actually interviewed on set there too. Colorado and Company is one of their local shows. So we get a lot of money from that. Most of the other money is BFWs, American Legions, honor guards, and a lot of private citizens. We have a few businesses that help. There's an Ace Hardware franchisee in northern Colorado here. He's got 9 stores, I think. They do a roundup campaign, so you can just round up your total cost to the next dollar. It adds up to $25,000 last November. They donated, and we do have a relationship with King Soopers. So everybody has a King Soopers card. You can tie that to a nonprofit. And we've been approved. We have little flyers up here now. If anybody hasn't started that program with their King Soopers card, and it doesn't cost you anything, it just links your purchases to Rocky Mountain Honor Flight, and we get a little percentage of everything. So it's kind of nice that King Soopers does that. It's called Community Rewards. Yeah, passive, totally passive donation. Everybody's using their King Soopers card anyway, right? So each flight costs us a total of about $60,000. So we have 54 people. We have flights, hotels, meals, all of that included, transportation. We use a chartered bus when we're in D.C. We have the best bus driver in the world. I don't think I've ever met anybody who's more dedicated to the cause. I think he's retired, semi-retired, lives in northern Maryland, not even close to D.C. Gettysburg. Oh, he lives in Pennsylvania. That's right. Yeah. So he comes out of retirement just for us. He stays with us for a few days, drives us around, and he's just the best. He can get us anywhere. That guy can turn that bus like nobody's business. And a great, he's got a few jokes that he likes to share every time. So we've all heard them. So, the food is great. The hotels that we partner with are great. We've got really good relationships with everybody out there. Last April, actually, ended up raining the whole trip. So we were able to call around. We got into the archives instead of one of our outdoor visits, for example. We got to go into those places. So having the Honor Flight name with us gets us a lot of pull in the metro area over there. We'll see how it's going to go with TSA and DHS right now and things getting locked down a little bit. Security is great in Denver. It's not so great in Baltimore sometimes. They're a little closer to the capital, right? So they're always a little tight. What else? You got some more?
Yeah.
Yeah, you always think of something. So, like Andy said, we don't think we know we're the best hub. Like I said, there's 130.
Coolest shirts?
Yeah, I mean we're so cool that if you gave us $1, we'll give you change in ice cubes. That's how cool we are. Nice little segue. But you know what's interesting about this, but the Honor Flight is you never know who you're going to see when we go on a trip. So when I first started, Bob Dole would always come down to the World War II Memorial. We had about 2 or 3 times Colin Powell show up. So you never know who's gonna be there. We were blessed. We were able to get 2 Medal of Honor recipients to come by and visit us. So you just never know who's going to, who's going to be there. So I just wanted to throw that out.
So also, what qualifies our veterans to go? That's probably the biggest thing, right? Your combat service or non-combat service does not matter. Doesn't matter what you did, where you were, what country you're in. As long as you served, you qualify. Right now, we are currently taking World War II, Korea, and Vietnam veterans, and the Cold War era veterans as well. Up to 1975. Our World War II and Korean veterans take priority. As soon as we get one of those applications submitted, they get jumped right to the top of the line for the next flight if they're able to go. Our Vietnam veterans, we do have a wait list. I believe we're at about 300 Vietnam vets on our wait list right now. We're currently working on ideas to reduce that by adding more trips. We do 4 trips a year right now, 2 in the spring and 2 in the fall. We're looking at trying to add a 5th one in the fall to reduce our numbers and get more veterans on more trips quicker. We do not want to increase the number of veterans per trip because, like what Andy said, we like to have a smaller group, more intimate group, and it's more memorable and meaningful for all of our veterans and our guardians. And one bus. One bus. We want to keep it with one bus. Trying to coordinate more than one bus is a nightmare. And I think, was it coming in 2027, the Honor Flight Network is opening it up for Desert Storm veterans. Now, for us, they're going to fall into the same wait list period with the Vietnam veterans as well. But we're hitting that mark for those guys now, too. Yeah, I think that's all really I got.
Yeah, they just announced that actually the Desert Shield Desert Storm Memorial will be opening this fall. It's right over between I think next to the Lincoln and the Vietnam Wall. So it's right in a little circle in that area. So that's why at the national level we kind of have to do what we're told. We can't take any of them yet. But they said for the 2027 flying season, they'll open it up through July of 1991, I believe. Any vets prior to July of 1991. And like Rob said, we've had a lot of guys and girls say, I didn't do anything. I don't deserve this trip. Give it to somebody who was there and was fighting. And we hear it over and over again. And my answer is always the same. Whether you flew a desk in Omaha or flew a plane in Vietnam or were on the ground in Korea, you wrote a blank check for our country, and you deserve this trip just as much as anybody. Questions? Yeah. Oh, nice. Well, my dad happens to be our treasurer, and it was his idea to make these postcards. He jumped right on it. So since we made these postcards and started handing them out, the donations have really gone up. Yes. Good question. We forgot to hit on that. So the question was for the camera: are veterans allowed to take their wives? And we do limit that to people that really, for health reasons, have to have a family member with them. Because of our wait list being so long, we don't want to take up space for family members that aren't really needed to go along for medical reasons. So we don't want it to become a family vacation. So we try to really limit that. We want veterans to talk to veterans, and we want them to heal through that process. So we limit it to 2 family member guardians per trip. So out of our 24 guardians that Rob signs up, 2 or 3 of those is medical, right? We have 5 or 6 lead guardians that need to be on the trip. And so we're really limited to people that can push wheelchairs and schlep luggage through the airport. So we don't usually take family member guardians for that reason.
Yeah, so like Andy said, we limit to about 2, sometimes 3, depending on what we have available or based on our veterans. Those 2 veteran family member pairs for each trip, and that's, like he said, it's purely based on the fact that we don't have a 1-for-1 ratio of guardians to veterans. All of our guardians take care of all of our veterans. And so we have to have those numbers to take care of everybody, and we limit those family members for the veterans that need somebody as a healthcare provider, a family member that provides additional healthcare needs that our nurses can't necessarily attend to specifically for that. So that's why we limit it to just 2 per trip. There are other hubs that doesn't matter. They let whoever bring whoever within their scope. But we figure it's it's a way to keep the veterans engaged with the veterans, and be a trip about them and not a family trip.
So let me answer his question real quick. So I'd like to piggyback on what they both said. So being a guardian is physically demanding. So you guys don't touch any luggage. We don't expect you to do any heavy lifting. We take care of all the luggage. So we have to load them on carts. We've got to unload them on the carts. We've got to load them into the bus, unload them out of the bus. I've got 14 wheelchairs that I've got to get and that you have to do a lot of bending up and down. So you're lifting, and it's physically demanding because we're pushing the wheelchairs. We're making sure that we take care of each one of our veterans. You guys just look pretty like you guys always do. Just kick back and relax. But yeah, but that's what we do. So.
Speaking of guardians, might miss guardians or,
Yes, we do. Yeah.
and do they need to be first base?
No, we have what, three nurses, 2 or 3 nurses. Yeah.
Yeah, so as did it turn off? Got it back? Okay. So that's a process with our guardians.
There are honor flights that do a 1-to-1 ratio of guardians to veterans, where veterans will enlist a friend or a spouse to come with them on the trips. Northern Colorado is that way. A lot of them are that way. We are how we are because we want to hold it to one bus and we want to maximize the number of veterans we can have. 3 days, right, instead of 1. So yeah, there's the guardians do pay their way, but for me it was more rewarding. I've been on, this will be my 21st trip, 22nd trip. I think Henry's been on a couple more than me. Yeah, he's been on a couple more than me. But I got on board in 2017. My dad went first. Somehow he found out about it. He showed me his pictures, and I couldn't wait. So I signed up, and then COVID hit. So we lost 5 flights due to COVID. We couldn't go on any trips, and that's really the origin of that wait list. Yes. Yeah, I've got business cards here. If anybody has the opportunity or wants to volunteer, you're just answering a phone and filling out a form. You get to talk to a lot of people that really care about the cause. A lot of them call in honor of their father or their mother who served, and it's really touching to see the outpouring from the community. Is that it? Any other questions? Yes. Yes. So Guardians, well, the telethon? Yes, the telethon is at the 9 News office, which is on Spear and Logan, right at their studio there. That is April 9th, Thursday, I believe. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I've got business cards, yeah. For sure. And there was one more. We got time for one more? All right, go ahead. Oh, I thought he raised his hand. Here, yeah. Yeah, we tell our vets carry-on size max. That's all you need. You're not going to carry it on. We're going to check it, but you really need some changes of underwear, some socks, and oh yeah, Rob's. That was our 50th anniversary flight. So yeah, you need your shave kit. You don't need to bring any money. There are a couple of stops where we have souvenir shops available, but if you don't want to buy any souvenirs, there's no reason to bring money. You're at the bar in your veteran's hat, your drinks are paid for anyway. Yeah, mainly by us. By Henry, yeah. Is that it?
That's it. Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, very good. Andrew, Rob, and Henry, we appreciate it. Oh, okay.
I think we forgot the most important thing, applications. If you want to apply to go as a veteran on our flight, our application runs on our website, which we have our brochures and our cards here with a QR code that you can scan and go to our website, as well as our volunteer applications, which are volunteers that stay here within the city, help out with airport stuff, the telethon, that kind of stuff, and then the Guardian application, which is for the Guardians that go on the flight. All that's on our website. You fill those out, they get submitted to us. I receive instant emails that an application for Guardians was submitted, and our veteran coordinators receive an instant automated email when the veterans submit their applications. And then we try our best as quickly as we can to reach out to all of our veterans that have submitted applications to let them know kind of where the wait time is at for the upcoming flights.
300 vets divided by 120 years.
So there we go. Yeah, one line. Yes. Yeah. So our volunteer coordinator, she is currently working on with our getting our volunteers set up for this telethon. Like it's 9 News kind of popped this on us, so we've been rushing. Usually once. They just said, yeah, they popped this one on us. They popped this one on us, so she's been scrambling to put together the list that I created for last year's. So we can give you a card and you can get on there and you can submit your application and send one of us an email and we can pass that information on to her. None. None. So if you're going on a flight as a Guardian, the only requirements, like I said, is our age limit, and we do conduct a background check, and that's also for our insurance and for the Honor Flight Network policy. So, and I don't think I haven't had a single one get kicked back. So we have a good track record on that so far.
Okay. Well, again, thank you, Rob, Andy, and Henry. We appreciate it. Good round of applause. Thank you, Jan Weber, for talking about Quilts of Honor. And I'd like before we close, I'd like to recognize someone who's in the audience, Lauren Ball. Not only World War II, but Korea and Vietnam veteran. So we're glad you could make it here, Lauren. Appreciate it. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate all the support we can get here at the museum. Thank you.